First things first, I just got out the shower. It is 6:40 p.m. for timestamp. Alright, so the girlies have been saying that if you wear your panoxyl as a mask versus a wash, you will see amazing results. So today is day 2 or 3 of me using it as a mask. Alright, so I just want to let y'all know the robe is not even, is it on all the way? Was designed by me. I had a seamstress in Fort Washington do this robe and that robe because there's a blue one too. It's like a royal blue gem-ish tone. And I don't know where that one is. It's probably over there somewhere. However, I had robes made because I want a robe line. However, I don't know, like the startup money to do anything is astronomical, right? So yes, where you can be successful, but you gotta have some money to back it, baby. And because it was a one-off, she wanted like $80 per robe. And when these robes, I did these robes, oh my goodness, probably like 6 years ago. I did these robes probably like 6 years ago. There's a little unknown fact about me. So I'm very much a creative, and I know if any of my aunts ever come across my stuff and they're like, girl, why didn't you sew the robe? Because I won't call myself a seamstress, but I know how to sew. I know I knows my way around a sewing machine, but that's not the point. I had a vision and I needed somebody else to do it. Also, you can't execute every single one of your ideas by yourself or you'll be burnt out and dead, like literally burnt out. So I had her do it, and then it got too expensive. And at the time, the person I was dating, they were like, I'll pay. And then when it came time to pay, it's like, oh, $80 per robe and da-da-da-da. And that, because I had to have a concept before I sent it somewhere else for mass production. And the reason why I was going to do that is this is how I know it was a long time, so I'll say 5 years ago, when Life, Lust, and Lies, the first and second season came out. Really, the first season, I was doing these robes as merch. I was going to do these robes as merch. So 2020 and 2021 is when I was doing these robes. So not 6 years ago, 5 years ago, because we're in 2026. So I have this huge pimple coming from somewhere on my nose, on my chin, and I just don't know where it's coming from. So today is January 8th, and it's been a rough day. So 4 years ago today, I did my mother's eulogy, and grief doesn't get any better. That was my dog, but that wasn't my dog, because her religion, and some of her views and beliefs and some of the shit she was into just had us clashing. But what mother and daughter doesn't, but she always knew I was gonna ride or die for her. And that was one of the things too, like a lot of my issues were with the way she did too much for people and not enough for herself. Your word is your bond. And use the things. I inherited some Waterford glasses, and they were my great-grandmother's. They were Kathleen's. And my mother never used them. And when I moved into this house, I said, fuck that. And I took them out the box, and I finally threw the box away, and they're in my cabinet. And when people come here, I serve people. They're like, we're getting soda. Yes, drink out of the glass, because one day your entire being will be in a fucking box. I have so many boxes here of my mother's stuff, and the way people keep living is through memories and through talking and continuously saying their name. And I remember I had so much, like I got my great-grandmother's stethoscope, Kathleen, hello. Ooh, y'all want some juice today? I got two juicy things. Where we at? Oh, we halfway in, so I'm gonna tell one story for sure. So I remember, okay, we were talking about word is your bond, so we'll stick on script. I remember when my mom died. We'll keep this one quick. I tell this story over and over again, and people probably think like, "Bitch, you hurt, get over it." Fuck no. I'm gonna talk about it until they die, and then probably show up at their funeral and talk shit at their funeral. But when my mother died, my cousin was supposed to come. Her name is Michelle. She never came. She told me she was on her way. She was like, "I don't have a way to get up there." I said, "Well, I'll give you gas and I'll get you a room. You and your mother and your kid can have their own room, or you can stay in my room if whatever." And I had a suite. And so she was like, "Okay, I'm on my way." She said, "I don't need gas money. I'm on my way though." I said, "Okay." That bitch is still on her way. 4 years later, the bitch is still on her way. My uncle drove from Connecticut at the time. Manny, he's a twin. He drove from Connecticut at the time in the middle of a storm. My cousins, Thomas, Chewy, like Nadine, all my cousins, Mel, my big cousins, drove. And I'm not talking about the people that came from the south. I'm talking about the ones that came from the north specifically, because it was a bad snowstorm that week, and my mother died on the 28th, and we had the funeral the 8th. And Michelle never came to this day. She never came. Okay, if y'all got questions, drop them in the comments, and I will answer every question that you guys have. But to this day, it's up and it's stuck with that hoe. It's up and it's stuck with that hoe. Here's another little thing. So on my phone, this is Bella Lore. On my biological father's side, his mother had died a long time ago or whatever. So my uncle's actually dying on that side or something, and he gives a call to my mom, and he's like, "Yeah, tell my niece her grandmother died, blah blah blah." So my mom tells me, and I'm like, "No, so that's wrong. He wasn't dying yet, or he was in a part, whatever." Okay, he made the call to my mom, and so I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, when's the funeral?" So she's like, and she don't know how to tell me, like, "What's up?" She was like, "Oh, they already had the funeral." So, "Oh, when did they have the funeral?" They had the funeral probably like 2 months prior to anybody making a fucking call to tell me the bitch had died. So when I say it be about the principle, when I say when motherfuckers die, I'm either like, I carry that shit. There's so many things that can be said about people that are not, every person that dies is not good. You don't have to respect the dead. Let's talk about it. Because you don't. Because fuck them. Because how could you, all my cousins, there's not a lot of us on that side. Vivian had 5. Russell had 2. And Blaine had 3. It's not a lot of children on that side. And not one of them. I stopped talking to the cousins on that side. Because fuck you mean. And I know they can say, "Oh, that was your father." But nobody said, "Oh, my cousin not here. Where's she at?" Nobody called. Because quiet and loud as it's kept, that's not the first funeral that I was kept out of. Because Michelle didn't tell me about when her grandmother died. And she was supposed to, but I think she didn't want to face me because that was like a year or 2 after my mother died. But I'm going to tell you what, when bitches die, it's up. Because why the fuck not? Why wouldn't I show the fuck up looking like the baddest bitch I am and say what the fuck I got to say on the podium? Y'all better hope I outlive y'all. All of you. Like, that's just how I'm feeling. That's just how I'm going. Because that's what's on my spirit today. I've been sad as fuck today, but I'm about to get cute. But your word is your bond. If you can't keep your word to go to your cousin's mother funeral, bitch, we had a pregnancy pact. Why do you think REA and my baby so close in age? All the shit we did, bitch. I'll never forgive you for that one. And I'll never forgive the other side for not telling me that the lady died. Fuck y'all on.